go plant random seeds in random places. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my garden. Today we are doing another vlog, diary, weekly thingy, whatever. So I've got a few clips that I took during the week. I planted a few things. I can't even remember, but enjoy. And I will join you back at the end of the video for a bit of a chat and a plant haul, because I may or may not have bought a few more plants. Alright, so let's go to the shops and have a look for some perennial plants to put in the front garden. I've got a few that I'm thinking about, but we'll just see what's there and see what we can find. So today I'm going to plant some seeds. It's a little bit of a in-between time at the moment, so I don't want to start planting my winter veggies out just yet because it is still so hot. So I'm just going to plant a few random things in between. I planted some radishes, also some rocket, and then also I'm going to plant some onions, what else have I got? Some marigolds, and maybe a few rainbow chard as well. Oh, and some beetroot. So I'm just going to pop those in between the gaps in my front raised garden beds to fill in the gaps while we have this in between time. Probably in the next few weeks I might start thinking about planting out some winter veggies, so I'll go through and check what seeds I have, seeing if I'm missing any. This is a really good time to check your seeds, seeing if you've run out of anything or what you want to grow in winter, and order them online so that they arrive, or buy them in store so that you have them ready to go and you can start planting them come autumn or the end of summer. I do planting end of summer, autumn to get them up and going. I probably could have planted some already by now, but it's just been so hot I just can't even think about that right now. I do like direct sowing as well, so I am just going to plant these all straight into the garden. If they grow, they grow. If they don't, they don't. I just don't want to deal with seedlings trays at the moment. I've got a few going. What did I plant in there? I planted lettuce seeds in my indoor grow light garden because I've always really struggled with growing lettuce direct sowing it. When it's gone to seed and flowered, it's popped up everywhere, which is great, but if I've actually tried to plant it, it never has. So I've just popped some lettuce seeds in the grow garden, and yeah, let's go plant random seeds in random places. Alright, so I've been planting seeds randomly all the time, and these beans have popped up, And these little beetroots have already popped up. Another bean. I probably planted these at different times. I feel like I planted the beans a long time ago and they're only just popped up. And more little beetroots. So I've still got the space behind here that I might plant some rainbow chard in, because I do love my rainbow chard. More little beans have popped up. The watermelon and zucchini. And another bean. So I'm gonna probably climb these beans up the outside posts. Another spare patch over here, so I'm going to put some more rainbow chard in here too. Just water that in. The radish seeds that I planted earlier in the week have popped up. And the rocket over here is up as well. I need to do another front garden tour because I've got a few new things, but this is a another guava. I've got lots of guavas, but this is the yellow cherry guava, which is one of my favorites. I am hunting another guava, which is the Malaysian red guava, and I haven't been able to find it yet, but I'm not going to give up. I really want to add that guava to the guava family. Also, this stick looking thing here is a white currant, and I thought it was dead, if you can see, but it's got little green growths coming off it now. It's not dead. So I think it really did not like the heat, and all the leaves fell off and it died. But I scratched a little bit of the stem to see if it was still green and if it was still alive, and it was, so I've kept watering it. I've got the shade up on it now, so these temporary random scraps of shade cloth I had left over, they have been put up to give a little bit of extra protection, and it's got leaves and it's green and hasn't died, so I'm excited to have white currants. I have never tried those before. I've got more rocket in there, and this is where I planted the lettuce, our apple seedlings coming along, and the Malabar spinach in there. Okay, so plant haul. I'm going to show you what I've bought. I bought a few more perennials, as we talked about in the last video. I want to incorporate more perennials into my garden to have more food available long term, and that I don't have to continuously be planting. And these ones will hopefully continue to fruit and bear food for me for many, many years to come. And all I have to do is mulch them, feed them, and do the basics of looking after them. So let's take a peep at what I bought. Also, I really hope the sprinklers don't go on, because Haylen's changed the time and I messaged him to ask and he didn't reply, so we may get interrupted with the sprinklers going on. But this is number one that I bought, and it is a kiwi berry. So this is a vine climbing plant, and it is just like a kiwi fruit, which is delicious, but it's also much smaller. It's like the size of a grape, and it doesn't have the furry skin, so it's got a smooth skin. And this is a self-pollinating plant, so I only need one of them, and I can get this whole vine of delicious kiwi fruit tasting berries. I have tried these before and they were delicious, so I can't wait to grow my own. And it's a little bit of a different plant, not your everyday plant, so I'm excited to plant that. I'm not entirely sure where this is going to go. I was actually thinking possibly in one of my pallet planters, because I've got some trellises on there that it could climb up and it can just sort of take home in one of those, and I can take good care of it, putting it in the shade and sun when it needs it, rather than putting it out into the garden, because I've run out of room out here and the front is just a really harsh environment and I don't want to kill it. So I think a pallet planter may be the spot for it. Alright, so plant number 2 is a pepino. So I remember these growing up. We used to forage these in random properties. I grew up in a very small town, no one lived there. They had holiday homes, and we knew where every single fruit tree in the whole town was. So I do remember having these as a kid. I don't particularly remember loving them, but they are sort of like a melon flavour, and I feel like I need to give it a second chance. So we've got this. They're really prolific growers. They fruit heavily and you can grow them in a pot or container. I think I might put these in one of my front garden beds and have that as sort of like a all year round melon growing plant. They also grow really well and quickly from cuttings. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a few cuttings from this plant already. I can kind of see the little bumps on the stems here, and that generally means that that's where roots will form. Oh, I can hear the sprinklers. Oh, quick! Okay, we're gonna have to pause that for a minute while we get the sprinklers. I'm gonna go retrieve those plants. Alright, so we're back after that little interruption, and I can't really remember where I was up to, but I think it was something about taking cuttings from this pepino. So it's got little nodules all down the stems, and I'm just going to cut one of these stems off and pop it in a jar of water to root, and then I'm going to plant that out. So it's kind of like insurance on the plant. So if I plant this in the garden and it gets too hot and it dies, which I'm hoping is not the case, but I do like to have a backup plan so that I've not got all my eggs in one basket, and I do that as often as I can. So yeah, wow, the birds are really out. So yeah, I'm going to take a few cuttings from this, and then I might get a few more plants to put around the garden. I think this will be really good in this back fruit fence as well, because it's a low-lying shrubby bush that has fruit. What else have I got? Alright, so I've got a purple asparagus. So again, I'm not really sure where I'm going to put this. I probably should have figured this out before I bought them, but I really wanted to get some perennials that were going to give me food for the next however many years, and my decision on that was asparagus, because I love eating asparagus. So the only thing really with planting asparagus is that it kind of needs its own space, and at some points the fern will die down, and then in spring the asparagus will shoot up. So it just needs its own space that can be mulched, and so I'm going to have to figure out where I can put that, because I also got the green asparagus too. So I got the purple and the green, so I'm going to find a little posie for them to go, that they can be long term. And asparagus can take a little while to get up and running, so it might be a few years before I'm really getting any asparagus, but time is going to pass anyway, so we're going to plant those things in the ground. And the last one is the artichoke. So I really wanted to get an artichoke as well. I do know where this is going to go though. I'm going to pop this in my pumpkin patch, which is my driveway patch. It's a really large space that I use to grow my pumpkins, and pumpkins don't grow all year round, so they'll die off, and at least there'll be something nice and ornamental looking in there, because artichoke is a really nice looking plant anyway. And yeah, it also takes up a lot of room, so the pumpkin patch is going to be perfect for this. So I'm going to plant that there. 2 asparagus, the artichoke, the pepino, and the kiwi berry, which I'm really excited about. The other thing is I wanted to chat about was the sweet potato cuttings and the mulberry plants that I was going to list for sale. I did eventually do that, but it wasn't until later in the week, and I haven't had too many, but I did end up meeting up with a lovely lady from like a few streets away, and I ended up trading one of my sweet potato cuttings for a jar of her honey. So that was great. I'm so excited about that. And yeah, the rest is still up there. And tomorrow it is the Kalamunda Garden Festival, so I'm definitely keen to go and check that out. I'm not sure plans. There's a few things that I'm really looking for, so they're quite specific on what I'm looking for, so I will definitely check out and see if I can find those in terms of some rare fruit trees, but other than that I don't really need anything at the moment. I've got these that I need to plant in the garden. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, and I will see you back next Sunday for another vlog, see what I get up to this week, see if I did actually buy any plants at the Kalamunda Garden Festival, and I hope you all have an amazing week. Cuttings are just as good as any flowers. They look pretty and they produce food.